All right, we live. We'll be right back.
This King Heru, and the name of this track is called Shine Like the Sun. So if you're aware of who you are, you shine like the sun. Make sure you turn that up. Come on.
Riding around with the gas in they lungs. Now you shine like the sun. Now you shine like the sun. Niggas broke where I'm from. Either get a gun or be LeBron. Now I shine like the sun. Now I shine like the sun. This from the burbs to the slums. Riding around with the gas in they lungs. Now you shine like the sun. Now you shine like the sun. I'm on a whole new page. Had to level up so I could change my foul ways. Not gonna be a black man in the cage. Got to walk with the sun, getting blessed on the rave. I'm on high beam, you should grab your shades. Crown on my head, brand new J's. Hood blowing good till they put me in the grave. I am mentally free, I can never be a slave. Got mouths to feed, gotta get paid. Stack them chips, Frito Lay. Middle finger to the labels. Nigga said he whole career just to live in a stable. Yeah, 16 to your career, that's fatal. Every hit you get, you realize it's a betrayal. Niggas steady stressing college, but truly investing in yourself is the best logic. You stack profit till you the hot topic. Then serve it to the street car whistle, they'll copy. Lyrically, they saying that I'm not supposed to be, so I'm flowing like the ocean. Hoping you'll see that I'm a trillionaire, new school bum beat. Catch you out back, boy, and it's a Dundee. Prefer happy days, fly jackets, fun Z. Hands on my crotch, nigga, Al Bundy. Yeah, niggas broke where I'm from. Either get a gun or be LeBron. Now I shine like the sun. Now I shine like the sun.
Once again, this that King Heru.
Ride around with the gas in they lungs.
Shine
Now you
like
shine
the
like the
sun.
sun. Now you shine like the sun.
Let's go.
Niggas broke where I'm from. Either get a gun or be LeBron. Now I shine like the sun. Now I shine like the sun. This from the birds to the slums. Riding around with the gas in they lungs. Now you shine like the sun. Now you shine like the
Create
sun.
music, break it on.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Welcome to the Warrior Scholar Podcast. I am your host, Kofi Piesie. I am a writer, a ghostwriter, a music producer, a podcaster, a publisher, amongst other things. We have a special guest in the building today. He goes by the name of King Heru. Brother, could you please introduce yourself to those who may not know who you are?
What's up? I'm King Heru, representing North Little Rock, Arkansas, and Chicago, Illinois, using this revolutionary music to open minds and spirits. You feel me?
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So first, y'all know I got to give my rundown of what, before we get into the interview, what a warrior, what a scholar is, in my perspective, what a warrior scholar is. So some simple definitions. A warrior is from the old French gora. A warrior is a soldier, combative, one who wages war, from the word warrior. Warrior is a person who engaged of experience in warfare, broadly a person engaged in some struggle or conflict. Scholar, a person who attends a school or study under a teacher. A person who has done advanced studies in special fields. A learned person, a holder of scholars. A scholar also is a person who studies a subject in great detail, especially at a university. My perspective, when you put a warrior and a scholar together, you get warrior scholar. From my perspective, again, it means someone who is well studied and waging war against mistruth, pseudo-isms, and willing to stand on the battlefield against institutions and platforms that promote that. A warrior scholar is someone who is on a mission for the truth, for accurate and sound information. A warrior scholar is one who is disciplined, good character, morals, and willing to fight back against those who use information dangerously. So that is what a warrior scholar is from my perspective. And this person that we have on the panel today is definitely a warrior scholar in his own right. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into the interview. And since this is the Warrior Scholar platform, man, my first question, this is a question that I always ask every person that comes on the platform, man. who were some of your warrior scholars, past or present, that inspired you along the way on your journey?
Oh man, right off the bat is Malcolm X. Right off the bat, for somebody to come from the type of household he grew up in, developed into what some people would say a street character, a gangster, or a pimp, a hustler, and able to still keep the urban sense in his brain, still keep that in his philosophy, and still rise above and basically in prison do a homemade education, read every book in the library, learned the dictionary, and was able to transform into one of the greatest leaders we have ever had in our community. I think that's when you talk about modern leaders. I think he able to reflect with a lot of younger black men and their struggles coming up in the urban community and things like that. So Malcolm X right off the bat. If I had to choose somebody modern, I like the influence and the direction Nipsey Hussle was going before he was taken off this planet. He was definitely going the right direction as far as facilitating jobs and things for brothers getting out of prison, trying to reform their life. A lot of them are shunned out of society. And Nipsey found was where he was building a way to keep these brothers on the straight and narrow, giving them jobs and things like that. I think that that's very revolutionary. And also was working on a documentary about Dr. Sebi. A lot of these things he was working on, but he was taken out of here way before his time. He just got to getting on his feet and getting started as far as revolutionizing Slauson and Compton and all of these areas they say are so bad and riddled with poverty and crime. There's two warriors I say I really follow warrior scholars. I got on my list really.
Okay. No doubt. Malcolm, man, Malcolm X, he comes up all the time in an interview, man. Yeah, he has definitely left a legacy and an impact and an impression on Black people, man, throughout, globally. I'll say globally, man. So, most of the people that's on the platform, whether there's females or males, his name is one that always come up when I ask that question, man.
Oh yeah. He did. We got the same birthday too, so we.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people also that comes on this, like this platform, man, is I would say I like to have intelligent conversations with like-minded individuals, people who are Pan-Africanists, people who are RBG, people who are Black nationalists, people who are Garveyites, people who are who love Black people and have great intents for Black people, and people who are boots are on the ground, you know what I'm saying, trying to affect positive change in our community. And a lot of those people that come on and we have these conversations, they have these names, in African culture, man, names is the most important, one of the most important. When we look at the rites of passages, the first rites of passage is the name rites of passage, right? And they name their people, they name their children, and children name is connected to their culture, to their tradition, also connected to their destiny, you know what I'm saying? So your name is King Heru. So everybody has a lot of names. So I always want people to break down their names. So can you break down the meaning behind your name, King Heru, and why you choose it as your identity as an artist?
Well, when you say king, I don't know, they're ruffles some people feathers nowadays. I don't know. They like only 1% of history have ever been royalty. They get to bringing up these type of facts. But when I say I'm a king, that's metaphoric. That's not just I'm saying I'm a bloodline true king. I'm saying in my house I'm a king. My wife would say I'm a king. My children would say I'm a king. A king metaphorically takes care of his castle, and I'm a man that takes care of my family. and I'm a man. And that my house is basically a reference to a kingdom. So I am king in my household. So, and that's a no-brainer in my house. They treat me and they respect me as a king and things like that. That's given to a man that stands on business. I think that's how it is for his family. So that's how I get the king. I feel like that every day. As long as I'm staying on a straight and narrow and being a role model to my sons, my daughters, being a righteous man, and they see that I'm out here doing everything I can to provide and be a good role model and things like that. So I view myself as a king, and they back me up on it. So I got the king part out the way. That's that. When I look at the story of Heru and his father Asar, how he was chopped up into 13 pieces and thrown in the Nile River. The story varies different writers, but that's the most logical story I done read. And basically, his birth, his mother Aset raised him for revenge, to get revenge for his father and what his brother Set did to him. So in my life, I've had a lot of people that put me down, a lot of people that had fairy tale issues with me. That means I've never wronged them or did anything to them. They just had something against me. And Heru was in it to come later on in his life and avenge his dad. And I just felt like I got the spirit of revenge. But my revenge is not fighting or any kind of violence. My revenge is through living. I've chose to live and progress and things like that. But I'm doing this. The revenge comes because you didn't think I could succeed. You didn't think I could be doing things I love, being a family man. I was shot down from even believing that I can do that. Yes. So Heru in a lot of cultures represent revenge, but my revenge is living. But I carried the name Heru, but just on strictly because of the revenge and being able to be with the sun. That's how I came up with King Heru.
Okay. Most definitely. Yeah. I appreciate, man, that breakdown. And it's nothing wrong, man, with, saying you a king. Like you say, you have problems with that, but I say I'm a king too. I vibrate on that vibration too. And everybody that I meet, you know what I'm saying, I always, what's up, king? I might not know their name, but they be like, okay, that's that brother that called everybody king, because I want everybody to vibrate on that vibration. I don't want you to vibrate on that, what's up, nigga, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? I don't use those terms, even though we say we flipped it and we took the word back and it's a meaning of adornment and etc. I don't use that. So and even with using the N-word, some people will use it. We still use it negative. People that have wronged us or people who are doing things that we don't like. Oh, that was that nigga over there that did such and such. So I always want to resort to calling people kings as well, because I want you to vibrate on that vibration. I want you to think. I don't want you to think less than, because we've been groomed to think that we are less than. We go through 12 years of education. We've been through it. We send our kids through the food system. I call it the food system, where they teach our children about people that did great things that does not look like us. So that's why we have the mentality that we are less than, that we did not contribute, or our ancestors did not contribute anything to the world, right? And this is why some of us will say we when we think of intelligence, we think of white people, because that's all we've been indoctrinated with. Even through the religion, we go to these churches, the murals, Jesus is white, God is white, the angels is white, the disciples is white. Whatever doctrine it is, you know what I'm saying, it's whiteness clothed in it. So we have that mentality that they are greater than we are. Man, I'm gonna go to the white folk. We will tell I'm going to the white. So so we've been conditioned. So we need to reverse that. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing wrong, brother, with calling yourself King Heru. I don't have a problem with calling myself that. I don't have a problem with acknowledging you as a king yourself. But I definitely like the breakdown that you give, because that is, I look at my home as a castle. I look at my home as my government. You know what I'm saying? I look at my home business, right? So yeah, man, I appreciate, man, that breakdown, man.
Thanks.
Who were some of your musical influences growing up, and who are you musically influenced by now as your sound continues to evolve?
Ooh, man. This I can go on for days about who, because if you listen to a lot of my music, it's got old school samples in it. I'm a Motown kind of guy. I'm talking about, you talk about Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson, the Shy Lights, the Delphonics, the Temptations, the Supremes,
Yeah.
Sam Cooke, Earth, Wind and Fire. I mean, on the hip hop side, I got Dr. Dre, Biggie, Pac. I even like a lot of Jay-Z older stuff, like when he was younger. Reasonable Doubt album, that kind of era. Heavy D. Let me see. Woo, man, Carriers One. Rakim, Nas. Man, it's a lot. Chuck D. The Roots. Man, it's a long list. I got so many. In modern time, I would say I like Kendrick Lamar. I like Kendrick Lamar. I like that he take risks. Some people might say his music kind of weird and stuff like that, but I like that he's willing to try something that sounds good for him. I like artists that stay true to what they believe in. I like Big Crit. He another modern artist that from J. Cole is dope. Let me see. I don't listen to too many new people though. MCE, Obafemi, yeah. Man, it's too many. It's too many. A lot of underground artists though. I cannot remember everybody's name at the moment, but it's some underground artists that are dope. Oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. A lot of those you name, I'm rocking with. It kind of tell your age a little bit too. You mentioned Chuck D and
yeah.
So we look like we probably about around the same age. Or those are some musical influences as well, man. Public Enemy was like one of my favorite groups at that time. Heavy D boys, I liked it a lot of Heavy D music, you know what I'm saying? I loved Heavy D for I love he could rap, but I loved him for him being a heavy set guy, but the confidence that he had, the confidence that he exuded, you know what I'm saying? That would, caught my eye more than anything else. And the brother bust a move on.
Yeah. He'll show dance on you. He'll get to breaking out the move. And I thought that, I don't think that has ever came back again in hip hop. Just a big guy that's a showman like that. When he had the boys and everything, he'll be keeping up with them, and he was about 100 pounds heavier.
yeah, man. Most definitely. Oh, where I want to go with it, man. Yeah, man. So what does Black Power means to you personally? And what inspired your song Black Power, both lyrically and emotionally?
Man, when I first came up with that song, Black Power, I felt like it came to me like during the George Floyd kind of thing. And I just felt like we was kind of being repetitive. We saw this happen with since basically Emmett Till. The same story goes on. We kind of outraged, kind of sad about it. We angry about it. And then we go back to normal, back to work. Okay. And then it happens again. Is Trayvon Martin, and then it happens again is Mike Brown. Then it happens again is George Floyd, is Tamir Rice, is Sandra Bland, and we always just go back to normal. And so I took that hurt, that energy, that anger that we have experienced for so long, and I feel like it just need to be a time where we just say everything we need to do need to be black, and everything we do need to have power with it. When we with our woman and we step out the house, we need to dress like we have some dignity and respect about ourselves. That song is more directed towards us as a community. And that's why I say on there, don't be cooning, smiling, grinning when them crackers come around. Then throwing up your fists like you're down, use a clown, nigga. You hear me? So I had to focus on calling us out. The song is Black Power, but it's calling out our community to start making everything black. You can just cut Christmas off this year, cut all of that. If it's not directed towards us having progress, then I don't see why we are really a part of it. It's not really doing anything for us. And we're just gonna go back to the norm. Okay. And I think that just preps us to keep on getting abused. And we stand together as a people, they won't run up on us like that. They won't do that. I read a Huey P. Newton book called Revolutionary Suicide. So he was saying like the cops are pull over black folks during while the Panthers is out there monitoring the streets, and they'll pull a black person over and they'll be like, hey, you know, what's your license and registration? The Black Panthers will come out and say, hey, why you pull them over? The cops will hop back in their car and drive off. So they knew what it was. They are intimidated off us standing up towards standing up for ourselves and not allowing somebody to just keep on pushing us around. They don't even know how to react when black people are like that. They don't even know what to do. So I took all of that and I feel like with unity and with us trying to go ahead and stand up for ourselves through that song, Black Power, I had to yell out the ancestors in the song. That's a whole verse. Me just yelling out to everybody. And that emotionally, it was just everything we was going through at the moment. Cause it's like I think I forgot the lady that got killed in Louisville, I think, Kentucky. She got gunned down in her house. Then George Floyd. Breonna Taylor, yeah, Breonna Taylor, and all of that just kept on happening. And I just felt like all of that, we just need to go black. We just need to go black. Everything Black Power. Your kids get honor roll in school. That's Black Power. You pay your bills. That's Black Power. Everything Black Power. Everything like that. I just got to that mode, and I felt like just talking like that because I think that type of energy is what we need. We don't care about what people think about us. We're gonna ride with our people. We're gonna be proud of the black woman. We're not gonna disrespect her. We're gonna be proud to be black men. Okay, we don't need a cosign from a white organization to make us feel like we men. You know, the NBA, the NFL, these record labels and everything. We started to slip away from who we are just because they co-signed us, you know? So that song is powerful in a lot of ways, in the lyrics that I'm putting out in there, giving respect and honor to the ancestors and things like that. And definitely showing love to the black women, because that's in the verse of the song, I pretty much say that's the only reason I'm alive is because of black women. And I think that black women don't get enough credit. I think they don't. And I think that, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You know, but see that's, you know, that's us being conditioned. That's us being indoctrinated to hate ourselves. It goes back to, you know, the religion. It goes back to the education. It goes back to slavery. It goes back to Jim Crow. It goes back to colonization. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to so many different things, man. We feel like that we can't do it without ourselves. That's what happened when you get to Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying, and the civil rights movement, you know, and them pushing for, you know, they was pushing for equal rights and, you know, and so forth, but they was also pushing for integration because they believe they wanted the cosign. That was the thing. They wanted the cosign by the very people that enslaved our ancestors, the very people that are still putting these railroads and these roadblocks up, you know what I'm saying, right into the very day. So, you know, through that, Martin, but you know, he ended up, you know, saying in an interview he believed that he has integrated his people into a burning house. He knew after a while he made a mistake trying to get validation from these people by integrating, thought that their lives would be better if they integrated with the people and these people accepted them and they got validation from these the very same people who rape, pillage, destroy, you know what I'm saying, globally, right? So yeah, man, we just have to change the mindset of thinking, man. That's why we have to go back, like you mentioned, everything black. So we have to get back in the mindset, okay, well, we need to do, because it's nothing wrong with everything black, because it's everything Arab, it's everything Palestinian, it's everything European, it's everything Korean, it's everything Palestinian, it's everything Indian. And what I mean by that, even with these people being over here, these people, they have their own communities and then they circulate their dollars in their own community. They spend money with their own people first before they send it out anywhere else. They take care of home first and then everybody else second, third, fourth in the fifth. So we have to be able to do the same thing and empower ourselves, you know, through what we say in black power. It has to be like you said, everything black. The grocery store need to be everything black. The schools need to be everything black. The museums need to be, you know, everything black. The religious institutions need to be everything black. You know what I'm saying? So it needs to be everything black. But in order to do that, you mentioned the word unity as well. And that's something that we got to be able to do. We got to be able to put our differences to the side. And what I mean by putting our differences to the side is we have too many common denominators. So it don't matter if you say you are more. It doesn't matter if you say you are 5%. It don't matter if you say you are from the Nation of Islam. It doesn't matter if you say you RBG. It doesn't matter if you say you a Garveyite. It doesn't matter if you say you a Hebrew. It doesn't matter if you a Christian, because they are the laws and stuff that they're setting up and to govern them and to protect them and to keep us in a chokehold. It doesn't say because you are Black Hebrew, you exempt. It doesn't say because you are Pan-Africanist, you exempt. It doesn't say you because you are Black nationalist that you exempt from all the other cruelty things that's going on with other people of color. No, so we got too many commonalities. So we need to unify up under that. What you believe in, you can do that in the comforts of your own homes. I mean, and it has worked. We have templates. We look at the UNIA. You know what I'm saying? There were people who were Muslims as well as different sects of Christianity in there, as well as people who was Pan-Africanists who was a part of the movement, and they made it work for so long. So we have a template. They had some issues, they had some problems, but that's what Sankofa is. Going back, retrieving, and then working out and modernizing it, you know, and to fit into where we need to fit in, and then learn from the mistakes that they made so we don't make those mistakes in our organizations, you know what I'm saying, in our institutions, follow even the Nation of Islam, even though people may disagree with a lot of those things. If you look at the infrastructure and the things that they build, the schools, the grocery stores, these businesses where they was, so we got templates that we can look at and study and take pieces of that and add our own things into it, and then take away the lessons from each one of those, man, and build. But the first thing, though, we can't do none of that if we don't unify. If we don't unify, you know what I'm saying, and come up with some type of solution on what it's going to look like, what Black Power look like, what does it look like, and we come up with this is what Black Power look like. Black Power look like Black ownership. It's owning, you know what I'm saying. It's circulating the dollar in our own community. It's taking care of our own self. It's educating our babies. It is healing our babies. It is healing our people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's definitely, man, you know, everything that you talked about in that song and you just mentioned, man, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's it's definitely, man, what we need, man. We need everything black. We need unity, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They they'll celebrate July 4th, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, they will. They will. I'm telling you, yeah, they will, man. I'm telling you, man. So
Well, you say Kwanzaa though. Don't say Kwanzaa, and
yeah,
don't say anything about no Orishas or
yeah, it's crazy, man. It's
it's
crazy,
bad, dude.
man. Bad business, man. But that's the thing though. But we got to be able to. Lord, I got Alexa talking. Hold on. Lord,
All right.
Alexa was talking, and I said something, and she just started talking. Alexa, but damn it, she the baby lose by thought of what I was saying. But yeah, man. But I was saying that's where we have to come into place. We have to be able to educate, and that's like sort of my lane. Like what you're talking about is I'm an author, so I got a publishing company, so I publish other people's books, and I write about stuff to combat a lot of things that's going on now. You know what I'm saying? So that's my contribution is through literature. So I'm trying to and that's something that we all have to do. We have to re-educate ourselves. Carter G. Wilson said we get two education, one that is given to us and another one, and the other education that we give to ourselves. The education that was gave to us, that was the education that our mothers and our fathers put us through school, you know what I'm saying, through public school, and they gave us their education. So now once we know better, now we must get that second education, and we must unlearn and then relearn. We must re-educate ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And until we re-educate ourselves, we still gonna have that lower mindset of we're not worthy. You know what I'm saying? We're not capable. You know what I'm saying? We are not that intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the school system, it teach you about Pythagoras, Pateo, Euclid, Einstein's, all these white European did this, that, and the third, even, through the religion, us growing up in the churches and so forth, and everything is whitewash and it's just crazy, man. And you know what I'm saying, the imagery when you open up the so-called holy books and you're looking through those books, everything is white in there. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing looking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, every African tribe in the Bible is cursed.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Then tell you to obey your master.
Yeah, obey your master.
Your master.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nah, I can't do it.
Man, on your track, Black Man, you say Martin cheated and Malcolm sold drugs as a black man. You make some mistakes and there's no love. Can you break down the attention behind that line and the message you were delivering? I like that line. The whole song was dope, but that line, like, it just stuck out to me, man. Like, it just stuck out to me, man. I like, damn, I like that. I like that. I want him to, kind of break down that bar, man.
Man, it's like it's several things connected to that bar, because I got like two different ways I can look at that bar. Well, I did look at it when I wrote it. It's one way you got like the Willie Lynch and things like that, how you tie the man to four horses and he pulls them apart in front of his family. And now the woman has seen that. She doesn't look at you and black men the same, because in her mind, my protector has just been destroyed right in front of me. Your kids see that. Willie Lynch has broken the black family down, and I think it's still strong today. And one thing that they have been able to accomplish is the destruction between the black man and the black woman. Even when you look at the gender wars now, it's completely negative for years and years of trauma, and we don't value each other for the most part. We don't look at each other with respect. So, and you look at it like that, and then it's like, so the black man is automatically considered a threat when you look at the Willie Lynch thing. So he's the one you got to make an example out of, and the woman and the children are fall in line. So we automatically already have 3 strikes on us right from the jump because Willie Lynch has been taught to us for over 300 years when they do the colorism, all of these type of things. And so I was growing up in Chicago and a movie came out called Barbershop. And so I said, okay, I went to the movies and I'm checking out the movie and it come to a scene and such an entertainer says Martin Luther King was a hoe. That's in the movie.
It is?
And yes, it's in the movie. Martin Luther King was a hoe. And I was like, wow. So I was in the theater and this is all black people and everybody is like dying laughing. So I said, okay, that's kind of crazy. So it's a guy on the movie, he told such an entertainer, he's like, hey, I can't allow you to talk about Dr. King like that. That's wrong. And he said, fuck Martin Luther King. That's on the movie. Yeah. And he said, on Martin Luther King's birthday, everybody should take the day off and get your freak on. And that's how we look at Martin Luther King, and that's funny to everybody. And I said that then, and I was like, I can't believe that we are degrading our leaders like that on a public platform. And Ice Cube should know better. He the one that did the movie. And I was like, I was deeply disturbed off that as a child because despite Martin Luther King following the wrong crowd at first, he was able to adjust before he was taken away. He was able to talk to Malcolm X, and they was coming up with things that they wanted to do. And so I look at Martin Luther King as he gradually got more wise in this civil rights thing. And I say that just put your life out like that and for the community, and you get murdered for fighting for the equality of our community. And the biggest thing when black people come together in most places, they talk about Martin Luther King being a cheater. That's the number one thing they speak about. Now, especially in social media, they don't talk about Martin Luther King taking bricks to the head and getting incarcerated for protests, and they don't talk about those things. They talk about what Martin Luther King did in his marriage, which has nothing to do with anybody but Coretta Scott. That had nothing to do with anybody. So after all these years, you know, I seen, I hate to use social media references, but millions of our people are on it. So I seen that Cardi B, and she's not, you know, I don't know her ethnicity all the way, but I don't think she's what I would say a black woman is. I don't think so. But she put on there basically that Offset was cheating, and she said, well, you can't talk about Offset because Martin Luther King cheated. Yeah.
Oh,
so
she made that statement?
Yes. Wow. You can look it up. Yeah. Wow. Also, it's another content creator named B. Simone.
I know.
Okay. And she was sitting with a woman, and you can also look this up too. She was sitting with a woman, and she said Martin Luther King is not a good man. He's not a good person. Yes, he cheated on his wife, so we shouldn't be uplifting Martin Luther King. We shouldn't even be talking about it. I'm like, this is how they talk about Dr. King, and I was so blown away that all of these people just was talking about him cheating. So I was like, wow, I can't believe he done did all of these things and died for the black community the way I see it, and get put in the ground for cheating. Okay, that's all he's known for with a lot of the modern people of this time. Now, when it comes to Malcolm X, I hate to say it, but a lot of our community has spread a lot of lies on Malcolm X. I mean, it's one of the letters he wrote about being with Betty Shabazz, and in their marriage, he wrote a letter to Elijah Muhammad. Last time I checked, they were trying to sell the letter because he wrote it to Elijah Muhammad, but somehow it leaks. Everybody done read it now, and he was saying that he had problems sexually satisfying Betty Shabazz in the letter, even though they had all of these children. He said, I don't know what to do. I think I'm giving her enough. Back during their time, the Muslim brothers back then, of course, they didn't get along with Malcolm X. They printed that he was a homosexual because he could not perform for his wife. They printed that he used to lay with white women and things like that. And I'm like, the things that Malcolm X did for the nation, and did for Muslims, African American Muslims in this country. I can't believe that everybody banned against him and put all of the wrong that he has ever done and made sure they tried to destroy his image and destroy his character as a man. So I'm like, when you look at the black community, you know, the pinnacle of being a black man is Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, pretty much. When you come from, especially people from the 60s and 70s, you go to some people's house, they got Martin Luther King up on the wall. Martin Luther King is probably the most respected leader in our community. And Malcolm X, I believe, is, you know, right with him. So if this is the two top people of our community in our history in America, we hold Martin Luther King and Malcolm X high, and we get to see them get tore down if they made a mistake. It can't be no good for a regular black man that doesn't have, you know, the popularity that Martin Luther King or Malcolm X had. So if you're a regular guy working at a grocery store or something and you make a mistake, you have no chance at all.
Yeah,
look at what they do to look at what they do to intelligent black men who are not out here committing crimes or doing anything. They still hold their mistakes or things they have done wrong against them. So I'm like, if we're not going to respect Dr. King, how you could respect any other black man who is out here doing what he's supposed to do, doing the right thing, and he can still get tore down at the same instant. Now that song, Black Man, I pretty much put a little bit of my life in there and stories that I know of, because I know as black men, we are kind of I would say shot down before anything starts. I lost count how many times I was mistaken for a drug dealer, a criminal. I have no criminal history. I'm not a felon. I've never been to prison. But people have met me and they automatically just thought the worst of me. I've been walking down the street and I done seen people run across the other side of the street. People just was in fear. And I'm like, I don't understand. I have not done anything. But that's the vibe when you're a masculine black man and you're walking around here. People are in fear and everything. I'm a gang banger, all of these type of things. I even was just walking down the street, the cops stopped. And they was like, hey, where you going? What you doing? I'm just walking. What's the problem? I don't understand. Yeah, let me run your name. Let me run all of that. Yeah, that'll stop. I lost count of how many times that happened to us. Yeah. But I'm saying we are just viewed in such a bad way. And there's so many black men out here that's taking care of their family, doing the right thing, activists for their communities, feeding the homeless, even starting after school programs. I have seen black men start schools, all type of things. And I'm like, those men are kind of not getting no respect. You know, it's like we're put in some kind of bad sense or bad view of us. And I'm like, does nobody not see all of these black men out here doing what they supposed to do? I know so many. And they just stay focused on the negative aspect, like negative stereotypes of black men. Yeah. That's why I wrote the song Black Man, though. And that line right there is a clear-cut reason to reality. I mean, it's connected right to reality when you look at the sense of how our leaders are pretty much destroyed. If anything ever comes out on any kind of activist or a black man we look up to, he's automatically cut off. We take his music off, take everything away from him, strip him all the way down. But yet Elvis had statues and he was a child molester.
Oh
yeah. All the Jerry Lewis, he's respected. Hollywood star. He was a child molester. Okay. It's like when it comes to those men, things are quite swept under the rug. And when it's us, it's times 10. Everything is times 10. While they get a slap on the wrist, we get Diddy's faces everywhere. But Epstein had a whole island of raping children. He had these people where they can come and pick what child they want. Okay, that's what we're gonna talk about. Diddy messing with grown women. Okay, adult activity. So black men are starting to pretty much, Bill Cosby, think T.I. and Tiny, all the black men are becoming the face of sexual deviancy. Okay, while the white men are getting, you don't even talk about it. Nobody says anything. Okay, so it's like we're the butt of the joke most of the time. It's very crazy. Very crazy.
And that's crazy. Like, just made me think of, I wrote this book. It's called Mandingo Theory, The Castrations of Africans and the Sex Craze Conceptualization. I wrote this book I put this book out maybe about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So what you're saying is this so the book is basically it's talking about how the Arabs and the Europeans see us. And when I'm talking about when you look at the Arab slave trade, because we'll talk about the Atlantic slave trade, the Europeans, which was funded by the Jews. We'll talk about that, but we won't talk about the Arab slave trade that happened, or the Sahara Coast slave trade prior to the Atlantic slave trade. So they had this thing that they developed in their mind where they started feeling intimidated by the black men, their elongated parts, right? Their elongated phalluses. So they said that we was already, and they come up with this thing where they justify for raping the women because they said we was over sexual deviants, we was over sexualized, we like having sex. So you have to whip and destroy the black man. So he want rape his pure white woman, and then it's okay for the white man to rape your sister, your aunt, your mother, and your grandmother, because that's what they want, because they over sexualized. So we seeing this thing is still fully playing out, that's how they look at it, as being sexual deviants. So that's why when you look at certain things that's going on, especially with the Diddy case and other different things, they are doing some of the same things, or not even in the same hindsight as some of these other ones are doing, but they're being swept up under the rug. They're getting a pat, or they're getting a year or 2 years in prison, or like you said, you hear about it and then it's mute. You don't hear nothing else about it, and these people go on to live their lives and do whatever it is that they, that they want to do, man. So yeah, that's man how they look at us, man. As an RBG artist, what do red, black, and green colors represent to you, and how do they influence your mission in your music?
Man, them colors right there, man, it's kind of a deep story. When I first got on to RBG and Pan-Africanism, I probably was at probably one of the lowest points of my life, I would say. I really didn't know what direction to go, and I just started reading about everything. Like at first I found Sarah Sudden Seti online, and I didn't know anything about this. Pretty much been raised in that church life and things like that, and going to church and you pray, and even if things get bad, just keep on praying. But I found Sarah Sudden Seti, and I just started like, who taught him? He's like Ashrar Kwesi. And I started, and that transformed me. I was a man that did not view myself in a good light. When you're looking at yourself and you're in the mirror and you say, "Hey, I'm a hood nigga. I'm a gangster. I'm a killer." That's how I view myself. And this falling on to this red, black, and green, it saved my life pretty much. I could say I was about 1 or 2 steps away from just hollering at the plug and like, "Hey, I need something. I'm tired of this. This ain't working the way. I ain't getting enough money doing this, doing the right way." I was about ready to go their direction. But when I fell up on this, it just gave me a whole cultural sense and pride as a black man I've never had. I've never had it in my entire life until I was about 24 years old. I had little spurts and disagreements with things, but this just like I was reborn. So I had to sacrifice. It's a lot of my family, they didn't grow up ever to respect our history. A lot of people have been indoctrinated, and they don't look at they look at voodoo as devil worshiping, and the whole Hollywood aspect and the whitewashing of things and making everything black evil. This was considered Illuminati, and they gonna come and get you. And, they see these symbols on you, and they, they like, hey, they don't even know how to take you no more. Like, hey, you can't come around with that black stuff. And I had to sacrifice. I had to sacrifice being around some close family members I love, but this is the direction I want for me and my family. So this really saved my life, and this red, black, and green is nothing but a lifesaver to me. And then when you learn this history, you learn about the Middle Passage. How I think they said 40 million black people was thrown into the ocean through the Middle Passage, and we lost so many. That's the blood. That's the blood. That's the red. I feel like all them murders and all them babies, and how they said the sharks just followed them slave ships and just waited for them to throw them people off because the sickness or the boat was overcrowded. They just threw them off. The struggles of being beat, lynched, set on fire, even cutting the baby out of pregnant woman's stomach and stumping the baby. All of that type of brutality is the red. And I know they trying to hide it in history because they know it's just barbaric, but we should never let our children forget that we were treated like that. And we should not downplay slavery to try to make the Caucasians feel comfortable. I'm not doing this. That's something that happened in history. We can talk about Pearl Harbor. We can talk about the Holocaust. We can talk about the Trail of Tears with the Native Americans. We can talk about slavery. And that's that blood. The earth, the green is that earth. And we have built so much through our history, through our time. And when you talk about the dynasties of Kemet and Timbuktu and man, it's so many. The Nubian Empire, the Kushite. I mean, when you go through all of that, we have done so much in building, getting in this gravel, getting in this dirt, building and architecture and so much stuff. Even the White House, we was a part of that. So we that's the green to me. That's the green, and that black is just our spirit to me. I look at the black as our spirit. As long as we know that we are black, we are them. We are the people that built the pyramids. We are all of these. Our history is just so rich. RBG is everything to me. The Pan-Africanism. It's my secondary family, and I got to know a lot of great people. And a lot of people that influenced me musically and everything, being with RBG and Pan-Africanism.
That's man, I done heard a lot of people break those colors down, man, and everybody, has their own perspective on what it represents. I like that though, what you just did, man. How you broke it down. I know people, we always represent the red is blood. I like how you in depth and explaining why it is the blood, why we represent it as the blood. You know what I'm saying? Even with the green, you know what I'm saying? We've been always taught that we are not civilized. We are not civilized people, right? You know what I'm saying? And in order to be civil, we can't build anything without being civilized, without being civil. Hence the word civilization. You know what I'm saying? So when you mention Kemet, you know what I'm saying, and the different dynasties, and then if you look through the history, they have something called the intermediate period. This is the time when the intermediate period was kind of like a thing of chaos. You know what I'm saying? Kings are falling and people are, and so confusing. But when you look at some of the dynasties, when you look at when King Zosier and his Vija Imhotep, You know, they took the mastaba and built the step pyramid, and then you go into the other ones in the third, fourth dynasty. You get the great pyramids of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, and et cetera, and et cetera. This was a time when no confusion and we was unified and no chaos was going on. We were civil to each other. So hence civilization. So when people say that we were barbaric and we wasn't civilized, look at the structure that we build. So I like to correlate the things that we build on this turf, that we build on this earth, that we built on this green turf. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate, man, the breakdown, man, of those colors, and also me as well. Red, black, and green. It actually saved my life. You know what I'm saying? Was a little young knucklehead. Some stuff I did that I didn't have to do, but you know, I was trying to fit in and improve my loyalty to certain people and done some dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? But once I became aware of who I truly am through RBG, through Pan-Africanism, through Garveyism, man, you know what I'm saying? It kind of saved my life, and it kind of changed my perspective and my worldview, and it actually ignited a fire in me, you know what I'm saying? To let me know that I am a king. I am great. My people did contribute something to this world. They don't teach us that, you know. And if my ancestors did that, I have that DNA inside of me. I have that technology inside of me. Well, I can do the very same great things that my ancestors did, and then be able to instill and pass those things off to my children and empower them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of devaluing them or giving them, like I say, school give our kids low self-esteem. So I don't want my children to have low self-esteem. So I'm going to empower them. I'm going to share what our ancestors did, the great contributions that they made. I'm going to share the mistakes that they made, the wins that they made. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to share with them the horrendous crimes that happened amongst the different communities in Africa when they got to the Caribbeans and the different islands, when they made it to here to America, to South America, how they was treated and how we still overcame certain things when they always had our foot on our necks, man. So yeah, most definitely, man. Definitely, man. That red, black, and green, man, is a history, man. Our history is a powerful thing in itself, brother.
Yeah, definitely with something we need to be passing on to the children instead of TikTok dances.
Yeah, for sure. Man. That's what he say. Said he had the scene hit for a minute. Yes, he did. He definitely did. He was. I met Seti a couple of times. Shout out. What's up, Mintu?
What up?
Yeah.
What's up?
So, yeah, man. Yeah, man. I love it, man. But how did you first connect with Team RBG, and what was your creative process behind submitting "Shine Like the Sun" for the RBG Gumbo mixtape?
When it comes to linking with the RBG, like I said, I started through SETI, and I basically wanted to know who he was learning all of his information from. I just got to doing a little bibliography myself, and that's how I found out about Dr. Ben Yakanan, Dr. John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertima, Khalid Muhammad, I can't remember the name. And I ended up stumbling on with Shahrazad Ali, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. It just started growing after that, but I didn't even think that this type of stuff was in Arkansas, like the RBG. I was like, I'm out of luck. I'm gonna have to go to Memphis or Mississippi. I got to go out of Arkansas. But I actually ended up doing some research on Facebook, and that's when I found Elnora Wesley. Back then she was Mental Sequence back then.
I interviewed her a couple of months ago, man. Great interview.
Yeah. But I met her and I started kind of like hanging with her. And she had planned events, and she was bringing people down here. And I said, "Oh, okay, I got me a heartbeat down here. Now I got somewhere I can go and fellowship with some people like me." And that's how I ended up meeting Overfemi and the whole Pine Bluff crew, Mentu. I got a lot of love for them. They real cool. Always showed me love. Always been respectful. It definitely is always a good vibe when I'm around them. And like I said, they became my secondary family. This RBG, this whole RBG movement down here in Arkansas. But the Shine Like the Sun, man. If you ever see the video, I did that.
Videos. I see it all.
Yeah, I did that in my old neighborhood. It's Dark Hollow. It's right here in North Little Rock. It's a very impoverished neighborhood, projects, crime, all that type of behavior going on over there. But this song is like a testament because it's like when you grow up in a single parent household and things like that, statistically you don't supposed to make it in the urban community. They got it where you got an 80% chance of going to the pen. You got all of these things. You're not going to graduate high school. Most of people that come from urban community don't make more than $10,000 a year. You get to looking at all of these statistics, you like, wow, I'm pretty much done. You know what I'm saying? But I can go and look back now. It's like, to me, I have made it. I have made it. And and I was able to compare that to LeBron's story. LeBron, and that's why he's a part of the hood. Because I mean, a 15-year-old mother, and y'all jumping from house to house, you sleeping on couches, and now the man is a billionaire. I'm like, who would have thought that? How did that happen? And that's a form of success right there for a black man to make it out of that type of situation. And be able to be, head of his family and things like that. I respect it. And I feel like it's a lot of us that's in that situation, and we have risen out of that same situation. Even the people in the suburbs. That's why I gave them a little shout out in their hood too.
Yeah.
But when I submitted that, I was actually talking to Obafemi, and he was like, "I think that's a good song for you right there. I'm really feeling it." And I said, yeah, because I was stuck between what song I was going to submit. But Obafemi gave me like, yeah, that's it right there. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Because that song it's an uplifting song. It's to be proud of what the accomplishments you have made for yourself.
Yeah.
That's why it was a perfect song for the RBG mixtape. Definitely. Gumbo.
RBG Batar says Shine Like the Sun is one of my favorite songs, fam. I love the vibe of the whole song.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate that. Definitely. Definitely. It's a fan favorite for sure.
Yeah, it's jamming now. It's jamming. All right.
Yeah.
So music today is often weaponized to promote drugs, culture, black on black violence, disrespect toward black women, and hypersexualization. What are your thoughts on this, and how do you believe we can begin to combat or shift that narrative?
Something I miss about rap period is groups. When you saw Africa Bambaataa and the whole crew together, you was like, wow, them brothers is doing it. When you saw Wu-Tang and everybody just together in harmony, I think that groups draw attention. And you got the X-Clan and Chuck D and Flavor Flav, Public Enemy. I think that kind of gets a lot of attention. I think like groups kind of done exited out of rap. I don't know what happened with it. I guess I don't know if people can't get along or something, but they used to be around for so long. And I think that that's what we need to bring back, just a whole group of unity. And I think that that's something that can push towards basically a lot of these brothers being back unified and doing groups, positive groups. Because we had De La Soul back in the day. We had a lot of
Uncle Brothers.
Yeah, a lot of groups, and everybody wasn't just talking about the hood shit. We was talking about some real, you know, being respectful to women. Tribe Called Quest, they got some good cuts. But theirs kind of just disappeared, and we just went straight drill from the city I was raised in, Chicago.
Yeah.
We just everybody is drill music now, and it's we're celebrating killing ops, and ain't nothing but black men killing other black men. So I don't know, music has just turned into that, and I don't know. But another way we can push is I saw I think it was Lil Yachty. And he was on Joe Budden podcast one time, and Joe Budden was like, y'all are mumble rappers and things like that, and y'all are not good. Y'all, you know, nobody want to hear that bullshit. But he was like, hey, if you're an older artist and you already been rapping and you already done put out records and albums, and I'm doing something bad, why don't you teach me? Why don't you take a younger artist under your wing and you teach me how I'm supposed to go, teach me how I'm supposed to rap, and I listen. But what y'all do is just down us and say we trash and we mumble rappers, and y'all don't give us no direction. And I listened to Lil Yachty. He was correct. That's what the problem is. We're not trying to help them and say, hey, maybe you need to say it like this or switch this up. Give them some pointers. We got to always just shoot these little young brothers down, especially if they're not doing anything violent. He's trying to make music, so they're not doing anything illegal. He focused on trying to be an entrepreneur and things like that. So we might have to take some of these young artists under the wing, or be more welcoming to them and not just shun them and judge them and shoo them away. Because when we was once young, we wouldn't have liked that kind of treatment from an older person or elder. We wouldn't like them to diss us. So I think that's one way to combat. It's a separation. J. Cole did a song called Middle Child. And he was trying to bridge the gap between the 90s era and the 2010 plus era. And he was trying to bridge all of that together at one time. But didn't nobody pay attention to that song, the words in the song. Okay, so if we combat just judging them, calling them mumble rappers, and you know what I'm saying, I think if we take a lot of these young guys under our wing, I think they'll follow. If it ain't no negativity, I believe that's one way to combat all of the sexualization, because that has totally taken over, period. I don't think there's no other rap out here as far as mainstream. It is just booty shaking and killing your ops, and that's not anything that nobody should be listening to. It's been 30 years of gangster rap, 30 years of selling dope. I sold crack. How many women you done slept with? I think that's played out at this point. It's time to go to a different direction. But I think the young people will listen to us if the older gentlemen are coming at them with respect and not trying to judge them.
For sure. And that's it. You mentioned the elders. That's not eldership. That's elders. So it's a difference between an elder and an older. So
right.
And what you're saying is definitely right. I've been trying, like, I stay here in Mississippi, and where I'm at, it's like crime, and it never been like this, but it done got bad. I stay outside. I stay in the country, so I stay outside of downtown. But downtown, where I grew up at, in all those areas, man, there has been a lot of shooting. But it seems like when I go in communities, I hear a lot of older people. They not extending their hands to help and pull the youth up and show them another way. They cussing, they fussing, they talking down on them. You know what I'm saying? They disrespecting them. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and not talking to them like with respect and say, hey, well, what about you think like this? Okay, well, if you doing this, you got a brilliant mind. Let's translate that what you're doing into this. You know what I'm saying? In the business, if if somebody out there dealing, with these guns, okay, well, let's show them importance of valuing themselves and loving themselves. So once they value themselves and love themselves, then they can, and then teach them that you're basically looking at yourself. We are all images of God. We are images of God. So when you're looking at the next person, you're looking at yourself. You're looking at the next fellow brother. You are looking at yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if you value yourself, you should value your fellow brother. You know what I'm saying? Just teaching them certain things and dropping things, because again, we have been miseducated on certain things, right? So and again, it goes back to being conditioned a certain way. So a lot of our kids look at it like, even, and I'm speaking for myself, even though I come from a place where I grew up in a place where I didn't want for nothing, but where we stayed at, I seen so much crime and things go on. And I think I wouldn't have got, but I always thought that I wasn't shit because that's what school teaches me. And then me looking at things from the religion context and its ideology and looking at imagery and certain things like that, I'm like, well, damn, everything about us, it's about we being slaves, or we having sex with animals, or we you know what I'm saying, we got it. We created the AIDS disease. There's all kind of stuff that's through the propaganda, that's through news, that's through the school, that's through the movies, that's through the commercials, that's through radio. So we've been conditioned that way. So them kids are probably on that same vibration I was, where, shit, I ain't shit. I ain't gonna be shit. I'm gonna either be in jail, I'm gonna be in dead. Until then, they ain't giving me this, so I'm gonna go take this. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to survive. You know what I'm saying? I like this. I like that. This is what I'm gonna do to get these things. If anybody get in my way, then you know what I'm saying, it's over with. If I feel threatened or they not, so we gotta have that portion of teaching them about self-love, teaching them about their culture, teaching them about their history, and showing them a better way. You know what I'm saying? And talking to them with respect, you know what I'm saying, and not thinking that we're better than them, because we need each other. But a lot of grown folks, you know what I'm saying, we think we better than the children. We think we can't learn nothing from the youth. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely, man, something that we need to do. It's definitely in the music. We need to also pull them up, and show them a different way, man. We'll change that bar to boom, 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 this, and then explain it. Like certain things, like I like when I'm interviewing, like a lot of you guys and some of y'all powerful bars, I be wanting y'all to break the bars down, because these things actually mean something. And I wrote a blog about the RBG Gumbo mixtape, and then I did an official music review, because I got a magazine that I put out every other month called the Acele magazine. So the other month I put out an official write-up where I rated, and how I rated the full Gumbo album. And I call those threes the red, black, and green. Those are institutions. Those are things that we can take and we can dissect and we can learn from. Y'all spoke about so many different great leaders here as well as in Africa, people who build certain things, you know what I'm saying, who contribute to certain things, who passed laws, who was fearless, who was great scholars, who had great minds, who build great institutions, et cetera, et cetera. So, so we have to be able to pull those people in and break down some of our music and get them to understand, man, the trajectory, okay, where, add this and that, because when you're doing this, you know what I'm saying, you're speaking this and that, even though you may not mean it in that intent, but somebody else may take that as the soundtrack to their life and go out and throw their life away. You kill somebody, or end up in jail, or they end up dying themselves. So yeah, man. My last question, dog, man. What can we expect next from King Heru? Whether that's new music, community work, or collaborations, or how can people support your movement?
Oh man, I'm trying to right now. I got a whole bunch of songs I got to do, but one that's sticking out to me is me and Obafemi doing Huey. I'm gonna have to hop on there and do that. I've been procrastinating a little bit, but we're gonna do a song about basically Huey P. Newton and how we reflect on the same things as Huey P. Newton. I think this is gonna be dope. I'm also working on my next album, which will be called The Underground Railroad. It's a big meaning behind that title, because everything going back underground. The record labels pretty much have been mistreating artists. They getting shelved. They dropping them. They're dropping the deals. I think Atlantic Record has terminated over 300 of their artists. Let them go. Everybody getting streaming deals now. Things like this, Spotify deals. Record companies are not going to be around anything anymore. I think that it's about to go back to independent artists and underground artists. It's about to go back their way. I've been predicted this probably for years now. But as far as being more community, I need to get more intact with my RBG brothers and start being more involved and things like that. Had being on the plantation sometimes can take up so much time. I'm trying to focus more on being basically being probably an entrepreneur, trying to do business ventures and things like that. A way to support me is sharing my music. If you can, buy me off Spotify or iTunes, things like that. That'll be a good help for me. I'm really trying to get all of our revolutionary type music, whether it's revolutionary gangster or revolutionary and spoken word, any kind of things like that. I'm trying to get that more popular. So the bigger crowd, I believe everything will be going in the right direction for a lot of communities that listen to this instead of the gangster shooting your ops up type music, the drill music. I think that this would be a better move. But I'm just gonna keep working. I really want to do like a short film, but I'm just started on the works on it. I got my cameraman and everything like that. But I'm really looking towards doing probably a short film and also doing some clothing. Me and Mintu's son, we've been talking about that. Oh, hold on, my thing is messing up. Me and Mintu's son been talking about that. So I guess
he must have accidentally hit the button. Hold on, let's see if we get him back in here real quick. Hold on, let me put my thing back on here. All right. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see if we can get him back on here. We about to wrap it up though anyway. Unless it's okay, there he is. Hold on. All right.
oh yeah, I don't know. My phone got to going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm back into some entrepreneur type moves. But to support me, just share my stuff. If you can, buy my songs. I just need promotion, more ears, more eyes.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, man, gonna help out with that, man, and share. And I might be reaching out to you, man, pretty soon for something, man, that, as well, man. I want to try to work as much as I can with all my RBG brothers, man. So I'll probably be reaching back out. This won't be my last time reaching back out to you, man. And I'm gonna try
we can do a part two.
for sure, most definitely, man.
Yeah.
You're welcome, man. To come back, man. Before we go, too, man. Who do your videos, man? Who shoot your videos, man? You got a lot.
My homeboy Malik. Malik, he go by Poppy Leaky. That's his name. He work with you. He ain't trying to bust your head wide open. He on the come up. He trying to get his whole film production and things like that going. He's a hard worker, man, young dude, but he work hard. He sell candles, incense, whatever. He working real hard. I got a lot of respect for that young man.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of respect.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes the interview, y'all.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I appreciate everybody that may look at this later on in the archives. If you enjoyed it while you listen to it live, please like and share the show to keep it in the algorithm. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And man, and we'll see y'all next time. But before then, man, you got any closing words, man? You got any closing words? Anything?
Black men, black women, we need to start respecting each other more, loving each other. We all we got at the end of the day. You're not gonna go to no other kind of community and they're gonna treat you with more respect than your own. So that's the wise words I leave out there because the way this country and this world is going, we're gonna have to start sticking together. It's gonna be bad news. It's gonna be bad news. So I'm really pushing that.
What
you say?
King, I'm a hand model. Oh, that's Patar crazy stuff. He said he's a hand model. So let me know. Let me get a part in the short video.
I got you, Patar.
He said his hands is the bottle. That's crazy. Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
But all right, y'all, man, we out of here, man. I'm gonna leave y'all again, man, with my brother song Shine with the Sun, man, and we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all next week, man, with the return of Knowledge Born Allah. So we'll be on here next week talking about Knowledge Born Allah. He has 2 new books that he put out. So we'll be discussing both of his books as well as Pan-Africanism and other things as well, man. So we out of here, man. Peace and power.
Black power.
This King Heru, and the name of this track is called Shine Like the Sun. So if you're aware of who you are, you shine like the sun. Make sure you turn that up.
This from the birds to the slums. Riding around with the gas in they lungs. Now you shine like the sun. Now you shine like the sun. Niggas broke where I'm from. Either get a gun or be LeBron. Now I shine like the sun. Now I shine like the sun. This from the burbs to the slums. Riding around with the gas in they lungs. Now you shine like the sun. Now you shine like the sun. I'm on a whole new page. Had to level up so I could change my foul ways. Not gonna be a black man in a cage. Got to walk with the sun, getting blessed on the rave. I'm on high beam, you should grab your shades. Crown on my head, brand new J's. Hood blowing good till they put me in the grave. I am mentally free, I can never be a slave. Got mouths to feed, gotta get paid. Stack them chips, Frito lay. Middle finger to the label. Nigga said he whole career just to live in a stable. Yeah, 16 to your career, that's fatal. Every hit you get, you realize the betrayal. Niggas steady stressing college, but truly investing in yourself is the best logic. You stack profit to you the hot topic. Then serve it to the street car whistle, they'll cop it. Lyrically, they saying that I'm not supposed to be, so I'm flowing like the ocean. Hoping you'll see that I'm a trillionaire, new school bum beat. Get you out back, boy, and it's a done deal. Prefer happy days, fly jackets, fun. Hands on my crotch, Al Bundy. Yeah, niggas know where I'm from. Either get a gun or be LeBron. Now I shine like the sun. Now I shine like the sun.
Once again, this that King Heru.
Riding around with the gas in they lungs.
Shine like the sun.
Now you shine like the sun.
Let's go.
Niggas broke where I'm from. Either get a gun or be LeBron. Now I shine like the sun. Now I shine like the sun. This from the burbs to the slums. Riding around with the gas in they lungs. Now you shine like the sun. Now you shine like the sun.
Grand, shoot the music, break it on.